Good afternoon, and today we're going to be proposing a new business plan for Cotswold Vineyard. I'm Primrose, this is Anna, Charlotte, Millie and Becca.
So we believe that Cotswold Hills wine will be most popular with the 30 to 60-year-olds. We've chosen this demographic because they are best suited to the price of the wine, which is nearly £14 a bottle. People in this age group tend to enjoy the finer things in life, and they also tend to have a higher disposable income. This product is quite restricted by geographic, as it's mainly going to appeal to those who live in the area or have a connection with the Cotswolds. This has already been proved by the locations the wine is already being sold at. For example, the uni shop, the uni website, and only local country fairs. The next step is to try and sell the wine at local farm shops, e.g. Jolly Nice, and also bistro type pubs like the Wild Duck. This is a product for the niche market due to the specific and specialised customer segment, as well as being one of the few vineyards in the area, and this must be used as the main USP. Another USP for this product is that a one-on-one relationship is offered to the purchasers. When the wine is sold at the country fairs, the people on the stalls are students that have been involved with the whole process of the wine.
So why is this product best for a certain situation? In particular, farmers markets and local shops, as well as country fairs, would be more suitable for this product, as it gives a particular image of the Cotswolds, and as well as the name, more than often people are more willing to pay higher prices for this. How does it deliver specific benefits? In particular, this wine has a unique selling point which differentiates it from other wines available on the market, as it's associated with the university and its reputation, which would be particularly of interest to previous students here at the RAU, alongside the fact it has the historic RAU label. So why should a consumer buy from us? The overall appearance and meaning of the product to the consumer gives a luxury benefit and outlook on the product, potentially giving opportunity to charge a higher price for the wine, resulting in a total revenue increase. So we've carried out a SWOT analysis on the business, starting with strengths. The most obvious winners from Brexit are the English wine producers. It may be a coincidence, but there's been marked in a rise in exports of UK wine overseas since the vote. Last month, the largest ever shipment of English wine was shipped to the US. Although the Cotswold Hills wine is currently not exporting their products, if they continue to be a success, and they wish to expand their business, this is a large opportunity they may wish to take up. Other strengths for the wine is that it is produced in the Cotswold, which is a USP as they are all linked to the Cotswold and the university.
The biggest weakness currently facing the UK wine industry is the impact of the weakening pound on the cost of importers. Across 4 of the key wine exports to the UK, the EU, US, Australia and New Zealand, there has been a similar trend in the currencies, with the pound generally weakening by at least 10%. Since the vote, although this is not a weakness affecting the Cotswold Hill wines, because currently they do not export wines, in the future if they choose to export it may be an issue, as they have to deal with also, as they only specialise in one brand of white wine, it means it doesn't benefit from economies of scale due to the fact they're a small business, meaning they are forced to charge reasonably high prices just to cover their costs.
The opportunities. So the UK Wine and Spirit Trade Association has shown great initiatives since the vote for Brexit. At the annual conference in early January, Chief Exec Miles Beale revealed that the WSTA had already begun talks with their Australian and New Zealand counterparts to develop a model wine and spirit agreement last month. The idea is that they can start to negotiate model agreements on behalf of the UK government, now with non-EU trading partners, so that on the basis of them, trade deals can be signed immediately after the UK has left the EU. This opens up a brilliant opportunity for Cotswold Hills wine, as it means they will be able to go into exporting their products if they choose to. Other opportunities are that the UK market isn't huge. It's not saturated as there's no one leading brand.
The main threat to the UK wine industry is that the UK's position as a key trading hub in the world wine market is under threat. According to the WSTA, nearly 70% of all Australian wine exported to the EU travels through the UK first, as well as more than 70% of New Zealand wine exported to the EU. Should the trade deals agreed between the UK and the EU mean additional tariffs will apply for wines moving between the UK and the EU, the UK will probably be cut out of this equation. This is a threat to Cotswold Hills wine if they want to export their products, as it may be harder for them to secure deals in other countries. Another threat that the business faces is climate change. With climate change becoming a bigger factor, it is more difficult to predict future weather, therefore harder for them to plan for future harvests.
The REU Vineyard uses a range of channels to sell their wine. Currently, the Vineyard are using both business-to-business and business-to-consumer methods. The business-to-business channel being used is by selling directly to the internet, where they're being sold on the REU online shop. The business-to-consumer channel being used is direct sales team. The wines are being sold from the vineyard to the sales team, the Enterprise Society, which are directly selling at events such as farm shops and local fairs. Business-to-business and business-to-consumer can sell through single or multiple distribution channels. Other potential channels the vineyard could look at in the future are wholesaler to distributor, consultant, dealer, retailer, sales agent, and manufacturer rep.
We think that it is important for the business to both attract new customers and then subsequently maintain a long-lasting relationship with them. We propose building relationships with customers through channels such as monthly email newsletters through a mailing list, possibly using REU alumni mailing lists. We also think the business will benefit from an increased number of adverts on social media and attracting more people to like the Facebook and Instagram pages to raise more awareness of the brand. Another idea we had was to introduce discount offers and large group deals for things such as a wine tasting day at the vineyard to initially attract some new customers.
So when we thought of the beginning of the vineyard, we thought that it should run under the form of a transaction revenue stream, one-time payments. If successful, there's the opportunity for reoccurring revenue, which allows the annual or monthly payments from customers. This will increase the amount of valued customers, as well as increasing the image to new customers and investors. Now, a couple of ideas we have for increasing these revenue streams include adopting a vine. This is a very good source of revenue, and it has a personal touch. And in the 21st century, a lot of people are keen on enhancing this. As it works, it's set a base rate for the price of the vines. Once adopted for a period of time by the customer, that be 3, 5 or 10 years, you receive compliments on a visit. There's also the opportunity to contract grow, grapes, vines, whichever, to be sent to separate manufacturers. There's a huge return on this, which could range between £1,200 to £1,500 per tonne. It can be noticed that Cotswold Vineyard already do a personalised graduation sticker. We had the idea that this could enhance a lot of different elements of it by including Valentine's or Christmas. There's the idea very much in the 21st century of packages. These include putting glamping facilities or holding evenings such as wine or cheese using local producers. This then could be linked to furthering the idea of connecting with local producers to sell at local farm shops, pubs and restaurants. There are 4 key resources. Firstly, physical. These are grapes. At the moment there are no buildings and everything but growing is done off-site. Option to purchase a specialist grape harvester, unless done by hand, which it is at the moment, as it's such a small area of 2.5 hectares. Secondly, intellectual. There's no proprietary knowledge as it is such a small business to begin with, and at the moment, customer database, which is newsletters, emails, etc. However, GDPR, which stands for General Data Protection Regulation, as of the 28th of May 2018, will increase its fines and laws, which is something that the vineyard will have to take into consideration. There's also human resources. It's a very creative industry. You have many different types of people working for you, so you have to take into consideration the different types of training they may need, if any. And lastly, financial. It's all based on volunteering backed by the RAU Enterprise Centre. This has a large percentage of sales put back into the Enterprise programme to help future students develop their ideas.
We've had a few ideas with regards to some key activities for the business. We proposed the introduction of a cork top to the wine bottle to increase desirability to higher income groups. We believe the cork top makes it look like a more premium bottle of wine. Secondly, we're in favour of keeping the brief story of the wine's background on the label, as it may assist in attracting customers such as RAU alumni and others who want to support a university business, as well as people from the local area who want to support a local wine. We also like the idea of adding the RAU colours to the neck of the bottle to make it look more distinguished and stand out on the shelf. We also suggest looking into the Vitacy project, the only one of its kind in the UK, offering UK grape growers a unique opportunity to monitor, manage and record growing season weather impacts on UK grape yields via an app which was free to use as of the 2017 growing season. The project is aiming to increase the amount of high quality wine produced in the UK by growing a body of information useful to everyone working in the sector.
Key partnerships, the network of suppliers and partnerships that make the business model work. Companies forge partnerships to optimise the business model, reduce risk and acquire resources. There are 4 types of key partnerships. Number 1, strategic alliances between non-competitors. Number 2, competition, strategic partnerships between competitors. Number 3, joint ventures to develop new businesses. And number 4, buyer-to-seller relationships to assure reliable suppliers. 3 motivation theories are: number 1, optimisation and economy of scale. Here the aim is to find the best allocation of resources. Since the